To Charles Darwin. So, men's walk and talk. So we're meeting today at Hayes and we are going to go on a nature walk. I think we're going to be the first group to officially ever done this walk, and we've got a guide. And yeah, we're going to take a walk, see what it's like. And I've got to say though, I was late this morning. And it's just because being a carer, and part of this program is actually from Care for Carers, and yeah, I had to look after the missus this morning and it made me quite late. But I like this space. It's a safe space for men just to be vulnerable, and a lot of us are actually carers, unpaid carers as well. And I've got to say also in the past, you know, a lot of these videos with Men's Walk and Talk have been sponsored by Men's Walk and Talk. I know I never mentioned it. This one isn't, because the guy who's actually doing the videoing is right there.
It's all the places that Charles Darwin went before, what he studied. It's just to show you the kind of nature that's actually right on the doorstep, and people won't even imagine is there. So it's going to be a nice walk through different habitats, heathland, woodland, short grassland, little villages, all that kind of stuff. So, and as we go along, I'll just tell you little snippets of information that will be interesting. Just ask away if you've got any questions. They tried to get a World Heritage Site declaration here, but it got turned down because there's nothing really holding it together. And you'll see all the different sites are spread out and there's nothing bringing it together. So hopefully we're going to do a trail, have interpretation boards, have like artwork at each stop, and there'll be about 10 stops along the way. But today we're going to kind of trial that. And, you know, I'd love to have you and they do a little dance or whatever. I think it's supposed to start in King Henry VIII's time.
So explain to me what's the May Queen.
It's May. It's like the May Queen or something.
Okay.
And everyone goes round the pole, you know, in these weird. This just shows you the scale of a V2 bomb when it hits.
Wow.
So this is all obviously flat, and you'll see there's other ditches as we go along, because there's Biggin Hill, which we're going to pass by, Biggin Hill Airport, which was a military base. I mean, usually it goes out in a radial pattern.
So does that mean that this is higher than, like,
yes, maybe it's a little bit. But you would have thought over the years this would have filled in with sediment. And this is a temporary pond, which is a really nice habitat environment. Certain species like it. In winter it's full of water, and then in summer it dries up. Before this grew here, it used to be like low level heating like this. So this is just a little bit that Bromley Council maintain. They maintain this wood because if you don't have any grazing animals, all the trees grow up, just become thick and dense and nothing grows underneath. So if you look there, you can see what happens when you don't do anything. And you can see all the holly is growing up and it kind of smothers everything. So everything under there. Oh, the spiky stuff.
Thing that you get at Christmas.
Yeah, you know what holly is. Those big bushes.
Merry Holly Christmas.
I met Holly once.
Yeah, she's lovely.
She was a bit spiky too.
The Second World War was when they stopped doing forestry, and so basically everything, they just left the woodlands. And ever since now, people think just leaving woodlands is the best thing to do. It's not. And on this side, you can see where they've been working, and they've been removing the holly and clearing it out, so it's got more of a natural kind of aspect to it. So if you had cows and ponies still going around here eating stuff, it'd look more like this, with glades open like this. So that's what they come. As a conservationist, I'm constantly chopping stuff down. I'm never planting trees around here. All I do is chop stuff down to replicate what a bison would do, or a beaver, where we're going to go. We're going to go to a bog site, and I'll show you that. So yeah, and all of this has just grown up in 100 years. So all of this would have just been peatland before. So it just goes to show when you just leave things, time and nature quickly takes over.
So something you just said there, sir, you said instead of allowing nature to just do what nature naturally does, you said it's not a good thing to do. Why?
Well, if you let nature do what it naturally does, there would be cattle, there would be ponies, there would be wild boar, there would be wolves, there would be lynx. We've got, this is the holly, this needs to go. It's good to have some, but not too much.
Why does it need to go?
Because underneath, everything gets smothered, and then it's just shaded, nothing can grow underneath. So all the ground flora doesn't grow up. All the flowers and all that don't grow up. So the biodiversity goes down.
What eats holly then?
Pigs will eat holly. They'll root around. And they'll eat brambles as well. That's the other thing. They root around and they eat the tubers.
Yes.
And so they keep everything at bay and they keep everything in balance. Once you take that away, it's unbalanced, and certain species grow up and kill and reduce the biodiversity of everything else.
Isn't it a constant battle though?
So what you realize is that we are actually walking the trail of Darwin, and we're gonna. This is where he used to do all his just nature walk near his house, and just doing his studies around species, worms, and all that kind of stuff. But this area actually used to have wolves, beavers, deers, and all kind of stuff. And now that all that stuff has been taken away by man. It kind of messed with the ecosystem. So now man again has to get back involved to try and keep it going.
Bison in winter, they will ring bark trees. When there's no food around, what bison do is they eat the bark, and under the bark there's zoam and phloem. I don't know if you remember that. So that's nutrients. So they do that all over. So what you get is you get a mosaic. You get certain areas where all the trees are dying, then you get open areas, then you've got thick, dense areas. And it's that mosaic that creates diversity for all the different species. When you remove that, it all becomes homogeneous. You've just got all the same species growing up, and it doesn't allow the other species to come in. They just can't get a foothold because the habitats that's created by the destruction.
So this man here, behind me, Mr. Shimon. This guy here, Mr. Shimon, he does all the filming for Men's Walking Talk. Yeah, when you see all that stuff on YouTube, that's the Instagram, that's the man. And you know what? He is so modest of what he does.
You're embarrassing me now.
Oh, I embarrass him. Trust me, he is so modest.
I blush easily.
I gotta tell you, that man, he champions mental health, he champions sports with cancer, he does the work, and he's a local celebrity as well.
Time to get married. Stay married.
Yeah, he was actually the first professional Michael Jackson impersonator. He was also friends with Michael Jackson. He's been in movies, films, radio. He's been on plenty of interviews on the news. He's entertained people for Michael Jackson, and he's done a lot of stuff. So, yeah, a lot of people here. Some people are missing here today who are also in the film industry. But I like that, you know, everybody here is common, they're normal, they're down to earth, and they're just being themselves.
You get this stuff in winter, right? You smack it, and then you feed it to cattle.
Ah.
And they've got such thick tongues, they can actually just take this and eat it. That's why holly, it'd be cattle, things like bison that eat it. But deer can't eat it, they don't have the mouth to eat the spiky stuff. So once you take that animal out, there's nothing eating it anymore, and everything becomes unbalanced. So we, as humans, we have to then come in and chop and pull and do all that kind of stuff.
You have to have a
You've got to have really... So this area, we come in and we're constantly chopping everything down.
What defines a heathland?
It's got natural gorse. This is European gorse actually. This is intensive.
Morning.
So natural gorse.
We're Germans actually. That would be. And then heather.
Tall, isn't it? No, this gorse is very tall, isn't it?
Yeah. The native gorse is dwarf gorse. So this gorse will smother it. Again, lack of biodiversity.
How
But
did this one come here though? When it's from Europe?
we brought it over because it's good fodder and it makes good firewood. So this, about 20 years ago, got scraped as an experiment. This whole strip, the small thin strip here, so you can see what happens when you take off all the topsoil and you take it down to this stuff. After about 20 years, you can see. So you've got a few, remember what I said about pioneer species? Silver birch. So,
What is it?
so this stuff is silver birch. So this comes in first because it can deal with the very low nutrient status and the lack of soil. So you can see all the heather does really well. So that's why they do it. And here you've got some heather that's flowering. There's two different types of heather on this. Well, there's three types on this site, but here there's just two. Adders. And between this site and the site across the road, of a few years ago, there were 34 adders. Adders are poisonous snakes, as we all know. And they count them by basically finding, what's the...
There's one behind you.
There's one there.
And there's certain sites,
that-
I
that
forget the
freaked me
name for it, like the
Biggest
Natty
being
or
alive.
something like that. But basically it's where it heats up in the morning. So if you come early
Yeah.
morning, you can catch them basking and you can kind of count them that way. There's males and females. The males are like white and black checkered. The females are more kind of like brown checkered, so you can tell the difference between them.
Which one's more poisonous?
I think they're both poisonous, to be honest.
Check one on one leg on
Maria. Foxglove.
Foxglove.
Foxglove. This is what Victorian women used to take and put into their eye to make it go nice and big.
What?
The eye or the...
I've heard of
The pupil of the eye. To make your eyes bigger, use this.
And who discovered
It's
that?
semi-poisonous.
Who discovered that?
Was it a beauty thing?
It was a beauty thing back in Victoria.
Or did it go blind after a while?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Why don't they do it now?
I guess this is the Essex way back in the days of
But
beauty.
you can see a few foxgloves here, which is really nice.
Wow.
Really nice.
Put it in your eye to make your pupils bigger to attract maybe a lord. I think we're gonna go near to Darwin's house apparently, his home. Yeah, but we'll see. I remember also living when I used to work in this area, Orpington area. It was quite racist back in the days. Police used to be used to stop and look at me and do like this. I used to be called the N-word a lot. I remember in the evening, sometimes I finish work, as I'm passing through to go home, I'll see some young white guys going to the club or bars, and they'll be like, you know, don't come because you're going to take all our women. I even had young ladies used to be begging me to come and join them. Join them in the club to go towards Bromley in those areas. Yeah, just that, you know, person of color was very rare to be down on this side back in the early 2000s. I remember I had one guy who came to work in my store, and you know, he was a proper African guy, good-looking guy, very proper, you know, ebony skin, and the ladies went crazy. He was like a star. All right, let's get back to our Darwin route walk.
And that's why you find the occasional tree. That's an apple tree. It's because
Actually, a plant with actual full thing.
yeah. But naturally, it's crab apples, which are very bitter and very small. Pigs are not really humans, but those are proper apples that what the plant is. That's an ash tree, and it's dying of ash dieback disease. Ash dieback is a big problem around here, because they've got to chop all these trees down because they're dying off over a period of years, and then all these limbs fall off. So anywhere that's public and open and has got trees like that, the ash trees that are suffering from ash dieback, you're supposed to chop them all down. And a lot of these woods are ash woods, so it's a lot of trees. It costs a fortune to do.
And interference with nature again.
See, well, no, you can just see everything. You can see the branches there. There's no leaves in the branches.
Oh, okay.
So it starts on the tip and it gradually over the years comes in. So all the ash trees are dying around here. Literally 95. Well, there's a few that got resistance. The older ones that are in really good health tend to stave it off longer. But genetically, that's the goal, is to find ones that are completely immune and then try and spread those now to make up for it. But ash is a very common tree in these parts, so we're losing a lot of trees out of our woodlands. From that. Weirdly enough, I think it was I was told it was Woodland Trust bringing in ash trees from the continent that had this disease on it, but then spread to all the other trees.
Let it fall.
No, Woodland Trust. Woodland. A bog is where you get a depression in the earth and the water collects. This is not. There's a spring just up there. Remember I said you've got the River Rhine Basin and then the North Downs, the hills. This is where you get water percolating and it comes down the rocks. And so you've got a whole series of springs along here. And so the spring releases water and it runs down here. Now, if we had nature, as you understand it, we would have beavers.
Ah.
We don't have beavers, and beavers will dam this and keep it humid.
Damn those beavers.
So what we've had to do is go in and basically install fake dams as best we can. But humans are nowhere near as good as beavers.
Is the water drinkable?
No, I wouldn't drink it. Unless you get it out of the sphagnum moss, I think. Good, because it filters it.
Is it true that beavers mate for life? I'm serious. It was a question on the chase, and it was one of the options, but I can't remember the answer now.
As in they pair up for life?
Yeah.
I thought it was penguins.
I don't know. Albatrosses, I've not heard that.
Yeah, no, because
I think they
were,
probably do, actually.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm sure they were one of the options, but I can't remember what the answer was.
Anyway,
I've had that question before, but I thought it was akin to penguins.
hang on. Where's your dad?
So this is known
Bromley
as
Council came in
Darwin's
and planted these
bog.
trees.
These ones, which are
These are called Scots pine. They come from
Scotland.
So they shouldn't really be here. And what they did, because you can make money from this, they planted it sort of semi-commercially on their land. So all of this that you see in front of you was woodland, covered up woodland. Okay, so over the years we've now gone in and chopped all the trees down in here and opened it back out. But during the period when there were trees over this, it dried up, all the trees sucked up the water, dropped their leaves, it dried up. And we used to have something called the sundew here. Do you know what a sundew is? It's like a Venus flytrap. So it's a native carnivorous plant that eats insects. So again, not many people know that we have carnivorous plants native to London that would grow here if we hadn't messed up the environment. So they cleared this all out, hoping that the sundews would still be in the seed bank, because it had only been 20 years since they went, 20, 30 years since they went extinct, hoping that they'd come back naturally, but they haven't. So now we've got to think about bringing outside genetics, so to speak, that's not adapted to its soil type in this area, put it back again.
Attenborough?
Bellamy, David.
David Bellamy.
Attenborough, European blueberry.
Eat it then, I want to see a difference.
David Bellamy was the book.
Oh my God.
He
It was,
did
wasn't
that
it?
Then Daddy Henry did it.
That's the you're going now.
Well, it sounds like a raisin. I'm going to eat that. I want a proper big blueberry.
Go over the fence.
So this was dug out for Holwood House, which is just the other side. Holwood House is Holwood, which is the historic mansion of the Wilberforce family. That's why we're close to Wilberforce Bench. So they dug these out and they would pump it back up to the stately home.
So it's just up there.
Literally just over there.
We're going to see that after.
We will walk past the entrance, but you can't go in, it's private. But in that area, there's also...
We just said we're black.
Can't we say thank you?
Come to say thanks.
Oh gosh. So yeah, we actually went to a church in Clapham Common, and we saw the desk where William Wilberforce actually signed. He actually signed the Declaration or the freedom of enslaved people in the UK, or UK Britain we called it at the time. But yeah, so we were able to see the desk and we were able to touch it. I think we should have touched it, but yeah. Gotta say, men's talk, we're lucky to be doing these places and learning these things.
It's true.
Bromley.
Yeah.
Bruce
So
Lee
this
and
is Broome.
Bromley.
Yeah. This is a nitrogen fixing plant.
Is it edible?
Yeah.
It's got little bacteria that create the plant's nitrogen.
So Bromley was named after this
Broome.
plant.
Yeah, but if you heard what you said earlier on, we got
Broome.
peas back on the, you know,
Broome, Bromley, Broome.
It may be edible, but it's disgusting if it is. It's not known for it.
Can use it for your rice and peas as
Oh,
well.
right, yeah, Bromley. It's a nice little. That's what Bromley is.
But you wouldn't use it to make Broome.
Oh no, it's not. No. Oh, I don't know. The connection between Broome and Broome and Broome.
So the broom plant, well known in Bromley, hence the name Bromley.
Look like gunga peas.
My man says gunga peas.
For sure.
You can take the man out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the man.
It's a natural source, but they've put this around it. And you know where I've showed you the bog? That's got another natural source, which is just in the woods.
This is beautiful. Look at nature.
Look at that on the mic up and about the mic.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I was about to say you're paying
Gorgeous.
I don't like the way that would end up.
Absolutely gorgeous. While waiting for these guys to meet up, let me give you a talk on what the group is about. So it's men's walk and talk. Basically, it's just it's a vulnerable space. It's a space given to men of any color. Doesn't matter also your sexuality. It's a space for men to come here and be vulnerable. Just talk about anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Talk about anything and open forum. And sometimes we go to plays, we go to the museum, sometimes we go to Isle of Wight. But stuff like this, today we're doing, the Darwin walk, where he will do his normal walks, where he will do his thinking, his writing and experiments and exploration, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you've never been on Men's Walk and Talk before and you want to join, feel free. Doesn't matter what part of England you live in, what part of the UK. If you can come to one or two, join us. So as those guys are having the talk and the nature walk, let me tell a little bit more about Men's Walk and Talk. So Men's Walk and Talk, all this to help also help people with mental health. It actually came out from Carers for Carers, which is for unpaid carers, which is located in Brixton, and it's meant to actually help people who are unpaid carers to able to get time for themselves, to access services that normally they wouldn't be able to access. So things like the theatre, things like plays, things like I do health checks with them as well. Health checks. Sometimes do stuff like yoga. It's just a bit of respite sometimes for them. So that's Carers for Carers, and they've won a lot of awards. As I say, we have won a lot of awards because I work for them as well. as a well-being practitioner. But yeah, go Google it, take a look at Caves of Kerras. Even Google Men's Walk and Talk.
You're not trespassing. You will be shot.
Ooh. We're at William's house. Nice place. Mr. Darwin, I've been walking for 2 hours, right? Wearing proper trainers. And my foot is killing me. In your days, how did you do this walk? What was on your foot? Just leather shoes? Gosh, my back hurts, my knee hurts, everything hurts. Charles Darwin.
Your cardiovascular system. It's a well-known Japanese mushroom that they make all these fancy teas out now. This is the same genus. It's called Aphrenotium.
You know my views on that mushroom should never be eaten. I don't care what form of mushroom.
And you can draw
What
in
mushroom
this.
mix penicillin?
It's called the artist comp because once you do that, you can do little drawings on the back of it. And this, you boil this up for an hour or two, and then you drink this. It's very good.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it, it looked fungusy.
Just came back from the Darwin walk and it's finished. Finally. I'm burning, I'm melting. I can't feel my legs, I can't feel my backside, I can't feel my knees. But it was a good walk. Takeaway. Discussion we had afterwards about the ecosystem. What are we missing from our own ecosystem? Some said relationship issues, having a partner. Some said having more freedom in our lives. One person said nature was missing from their ecosystem. I said for me it was an emotional animal, a pet. Because I just find, with me, as you see with the horses, where I felt, we feel very connected to the horses as we're passing by. I find that pets help me a lot when it comes to just decompress. And unfortunately, as much as our family, we love pets. My wife is allergic to pets. My eldest is allergic to pets, which is a pity, but we actually love them, and that's what I miss. So I think with us, where we feed the birds, and we got loads of birds in the backyard that even call us when they want water. That helps. We had 2 squirrels during lockdown that used to come into the house and hang out. They have disappeared, so that's a part of our life that's missing. My neighbor had a cat, used to actually come and hang out sometimes. I haven't seen them lately. I think they moved out. So yeah, ecosystem. What's missing from your ecosystem, and what can you do to reintroduce it? Sorry, I'm tired. What could you do to reintroduce that into your ecosystem, or what can you introduce into your ecosystem to make your life more wholesome, a holistic way of having better mental health? Okay, Darwin. I don't know how you do that them walks back in those days without proper trainers. We will see you on the next one. I'm going to go and drink some swimall, some coconut water. Layers. Woof.